Aloha. I wanted to make a quick video and expand off the last video and go into how we've been short-circuited. So taking the perspective of like an electrical circuit, or being that we are electrical beings, electromagnetic beings. We are alive in every way. It's not just the heartbeat, and then that's like colors and knowing the alphabet and being able to count from 1 to 100, and it's like kindergarten humanity. That's what the norm is of the education system, the university system, the monkey mind, evolution theory, the globe model, the Big Bang, everything that is normal in this generic ass culture that we call mainstream reality, the political system, all of these fabricated, watered down versions of reality actually short circuit the maximum potential of the human experience. So this is why you have people who do like the most ridiculous shit, like the most violent acts of nature, is because they're not being challenged to the best of their ability in the balances of their existence. They're not being we are not existing to our even lowest potential when we exist within the understanding of an animalistic foundation. So when you take the human consciousness, the human body, the human vessel, the divine essence of our existence, and you shrink that down to a monkey, you shrink that down to kindergarten and K through 12, you shrink it down to working at Home Depot, you shrink it down to working whatever it is, trying to make it for an empty piece of energy we call the fiat currency system. And then you also amplify the fear complex of a superpower of the big brother and the hopelessness of your so-called leaders, these politicians, knowing that these are straight up real, they are actual thugs, actual pirates. That's what the maritime admiralty system is. It's taking the law of the seas, the ocean, and bringing it onto the land, the pirate system, and installing it in to reality, and then over time polishing it up with what we call the Constitution, Bill of Rights, and all this other stuff, and what you understand as freedom and liberty, and all this fake generic ass ideas of what we take pride in, including the flag and all that other stuff, that still exists on top of the pirate system, the massacres, the genocide, the colonial programming, the post-Columbian era, the poisoning of your system. Systematic takedown from the inside out and from the outside in. Excuse me. So I wanted to make this video quick and short because people already know this, but I just wanted to share some more perspectives on this and really go into the depths of how, because people ask questions all the time about like, why is everything so bad? Like, well, and then they, part of the system is to say, well, God, this is why you say God fearing God is allowing this to happen. So you have people who now hate God because somebody told them to hate their idea of spirit or source. And when you label it such, with a watered down perspective like that, and then link it through religions, largely which are just an extension of that separation program to make you think and short circuit you even further from your direct connection to your energy circuitry. So taking that and just shocking yourself out of, like, numbing yourself by not even really connecting to anything of any essence, but really just kind of playing a game, playing a show for yourself, calling it, real or spiritual, or in the New Age community, people call themselves spiritual and spend most of their time ignoring huge chunks of compassion that could be existing in your reality if you were to just look within yourselves and how that connects with who and what you are and the system as a whole. We can't go anywhere. You can't do anything. This is what the political system is about. It's just jumping off of this cancerous foundation. The New Age agenda is part of that. The alien agenda is part of that. It just wants to jump off of this cancerous foundation. These diseased roots, like everything is okay, everything is fine. Don't look at what has happened. Don't look at the healing that needs to happen, and just act like everything is awesome, and then just be fucking love and light and live your reality. It's bullshit. It's walking straight into this alien agenda. This is what all that Anunnaki, Nibiru shit and Planet X stuff is about. And SpaceX and all this other stuff is expanding on. This is why they focus so much on space and going to Mars and all this other shit. When you got babies living homeless on the streets, you got poison in your food, you got poison in your water, you got poison in your mind in the education system. Everywhere you go, everywhere you look around your immediate surroundings is destroying itself from the inside out and the outside in. And the so-called powers that be are only focused on what maintains the illusion and what maintains the haves and the have-nots. So you can have not and they can have consistently. Celebrities, Hollywood, all these slave movies, all this shit is designed to keep you in that reality. That reality is literally ignorance. It is that ignorance is the separation from your maximum potential, from your connection to spirit, from your ability, your willpower, your fire to challenge the system which maintains your slavery. So I wanted to share this real quick. The word chakra is Sanskrit for wheel or disc and signifies, I can't even hardly even see that, one of 7 basic energy centers, which are actually more in the body. There are more than 7. Each of these centers, I think this is correlates, I can't hardly say it, 10 major. Anyway, you know what a chakra is. Shit. So I can't read that. It's too fuzzy. So the first chakra, I'm not going to read all these. I just wanted to go through to give an example to set the tone. And for some people who don't know what chakras are, to set the tone of what our energy centers are and how exactly we get short-centered or short-circuited, because it's easy to see how destructive it is, but it's harder to see how what your potential is in your reality. So, and how connected we all are, and how the system. So, a description of the chakras gives a good foundation for how the system works against the individual and the collective, how you are systematically shut down. So we have our root chakra, which is located at the base of the spine. Its function is survival and grounding. Its inner state is stillness and stability. Its color is red, planets Earth and Saturn. Okay, so this goes into your destruction of the earth, the destruction of your culture, the destruction of your roots, and the backwards, upside down understanding of the Saturn energies, which are the planetary energies that are connecting to you when you were born. So we see it as generic as seeing a horoscope in the fucking newspaper telling you, oh, today you're a Libra. Oh, today is going to be da, 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 da. Watch out for this and keep away from this and think about that. This fake reality of who and what you are. So an amplifying of the fear mentality, destroying of your culture, destroying of your roots will not only affect your individual chakra energy, but the collective chakra energy, which is the earth plane energetic wheels. The navel or sacral chakra, located in the lower abdomen, genitals, womb. Its function is desire, sexuality, pleasure, procreation. Its inner state is tears. Its color is orange, and its celestial body is the moon. So this goes into understanding the you could see this in Hollywood, your music industry, the destroying of the divine feminine, how we are birthed into this reality is turned into an object, turned into some kind of just like an empty vessel with a nice ass and some big titties. That's what this whole system is about, turning you into an animal. Like, what is going to attract you to procreate? So this is what the movies do. This is what all this marriage programming does. And then says, oh yeah, even in cartoons, even little kids in cartoons talking about marriage. Then you have the music industry all focused on sex, the dumbing down of relationships to where everything is it's more of a hookup culture than it is about actually having a real connection with a partner. It's all generic. It's adjusting to the short circuitry that is now normal. And that's on purpose, to keep separation. And I've taken it even further into, in previous video, how I mentioned is the energies of beings. So when one being at an energy level of garbage meets another another being of garbage truck, and those two beings have a baby, they're gonna bring in a dumpster energy, like a soul dumpster, into this reality. When those two procreate energetically, they will create a piece of shit portal based upon those lower vibrations that will bring in that energy, and then they will raise that energy. Of course, there are exceptions to the rules that come in through those energies. It's not like clear cut like that, but overall, when you multiply that times 7 billion, you will see a bunch of fucking dumpsters rolling around here having other dumpster babies. This is the playing the numbers of the casino of the human collective program that goes within this slave mind mentality that we get focused on. And then the story gets turned back on us, saying like, oh, it's us that's doing this system. It's us we are the problems. And that's half right, because yeah, we're the ones doing this. It's up to us ultimately. But when you realize that the whole system is designed for you to implode individually and collectively by having the existence of the generic ass education system, by having the existence of the globe model, by having the existence of your fake ridiculous piece of shit ass so-called leaders politicians. You have the Monsanto, the genetically modifying your food. You have the commercials which telling you to eat McDonald's and Burger King every 5 seconds and add bacon on top of everything and supersize everything. Drink that fluoridated water. Chemtrails in the sky. Slave movies. And the list goes on and on and on. So it's actually not half every time you add more and more of those realities of understanding that the system, that the game is rigged against you, then you can understand that it's deeper than that. Ultimately, it makes you stronger once you get out of that shit. But fuck all that. We've gone individually and collectively. There are already too many people who understand that this system has to go. The entire system. Everybody who's arguing and debating and all that shit, it's nonsense. It's total fucking nonsense, because this entire system needs to be addressed from the roots to the fruits, all the way through and through. The whole tree of life needs to be understood. The reconnecting of natural law through the human experience needs to be understood before we can move and do anything. And that's why I said this new age agenda, this bullshit ass alien agenda, it wants to jump off the foundation of rotten fruit. It doesn't want to even go into the branches, into the tree trunk, into the roots. It's jumping off of rotten fruit. It's all based on technology. Technology is the amplification of this entire destructive system. It doesn't go at all into the organic technology of the human experience. And even if it does, it'll still, in the future, if they do try to sell, chakras or any kind of system like that, it will still be for the benefit of the system, just like the civil rights time frame. They got to give you some kind of doggy treats. And that's what I'm seeing this new age agenda is all about. So the next one is solar plexus, located in the area above the navel. It's just its function is willpower. Its inner state is laughter, joy, anger. Its color is yellow, and its planets are Mars and the Sun. So when you understand the energies of the planets and how they manifest into your personality, into your relationships, into how you experience the world, you can understand that this is an electrical grid. Who you are. It's a motherboard. It's really like it's an organic. You are. So if we are the supercomputers, the quantum computers from source, having a human experience, then this reality is running Windows 95 and having you on a 56K modem waiting to get on American Online every time you wake up in the morning. You're running a 56K modem, internet, collective consciousness connection, getting onto the chat rooms in America Online, calling that like relationships, and then playing Snake or playing what's that mind game, mind something, or they're actually playing Minecraft now. Those box heads, one of these kids, it's boxing your reality. It's coding, it's downgrading, de-evolving, taking the monkey mind and de-evolving down into the technology is actually a de-evolution program. I spoke about that in other videos, but that's what this whole system is based upon. Short-circuiting you out of your existence and into a state of limbo, an open, empty vessel, so that those disembodied energies have a place to manifest into this reality, because they've separated themselves so much from source. The only way they can have an experience is through another being. This is where a good example of that would be demon possessions. So these are like low budget demon, low rate demon possessions on a collective scale, with Hollywood worshiping of these idols, celebrities, these empty ass personalities, these empty relationships, these empty people. You trying to be like them, your kids trying to be like them. This Barbie mentality. Everybody's got blonde hair. It don't matter if you got blonde, everybody's blonde. If you're believing in that system, if you want, that's what this reality is based upon. You got brunette eyebrows and blonde hair. It's sucking you into a Barbie, a plastic version of reality, because that's what's desired. Just like bleaching your skin and all this other stuff. It's not only that, it makes you hate yourself. That's the existence of hatred. And that goes into the next one of the heart chakra, located in the center of the chest. Its function is love. Its inner state is compassion, love. Its color is green, and its planet is Venus. There's deeper expressions of this. I probably should have found a. I think the next one will be better to explain. But basically, that's what it is. It's the compassion space. There is no compassion on a regular. Like, compassion is not mainstream. Where the fuck you see compassion on a regular basis? Do you experience compassion on a regular basis? It's like taboo. Compassion is taboo in the mainstream reality. What is not taboo? The demonizing of cultures, the destroying of anything that is divine, the sexualization of the divine feminine, the emasculinization of the divine masculine. I mean, the list goes on and on and on, and how what's normal is to downgrade you, but to upgrade you, that space is generic. Shit is fake. You get an example of something like that is they tell you to vote. They get these celebrities out there and tell you to vote. That's your power. That's what they tell you your power is. And that's inherently powerless. Next one, the throat chakra. Its function is communication, creativity. Its inner state is synthesis of ideas into symbols. Planets Mercury and Neptune. Next one, you're shut down. So when you have no willpower, no compassion, you don't know what to talk about, you have no fire, and you're not connected to anything, so you just talk about, it's a drive-through. Like in Fight Club, your single serve friends or friendship. That's what it is. It's generic ass realities. That's normal. What's taboo is to actually trigger a fucking conversation with individuals that goes deeper than what's comfortable. You can't even talk about like shit. Like, this is another reason why I can't really hang out with, why I don't have many friends anymore. But even when you hang out with friends, you can't even talk about shit. You start talking about it, it makes people uncomfortable. If you talk about things that make people uncomfortable, since we have no fire, we have we're not open. Everything is closed. So once we get short-circuited, we can't stand being short-circuited anymore. So we close those circuits, and we exist in a lack of electrical connections, a lack of electromagnetic connections with ourselves and with each other. So we close those circuits in however way, or we box them up in however way is comfortable for us in the moment and overall, and then we just ignore it. The third eye, center of the forehead above the eyebrows, function is seeing, intuiting. Center state is I know, the knowingness from your source, from your soul, from your essence. That knowingness is just not even existent anymore on the whole. And the knowingness that happens in the New Age agenda is just fucking garbage. It's based upon, largely based upon these disembodied entities who also have an agenda in reference or in regards to the collective movement of human consciousness. So this is why when you hear certain channelers or certain, they can't tell you certain things, or it maxes out. Like I used to listen to Bashar's channeling until I realized he was just saying the same shit just over and over and over again. And he wouldn't answer certain questions that were very important to me. And then he wasn't sharing information, or it wasn't sharing information of an empowered nature. I mean, you can see it as empowering from from information, period, just from understanding. But really, it maxed out as give your power away to these entities that are existing in your future. We're calling the Essassani or the Pleiadians or the Syrians or whatever the fuck it is. It doesn't empower the maximum potential of the human collective right now. It gives it all away to the aliens and the spaceships and the future and technology and all this other shit. Not only that, it doesn't look at those channels. Don't look at the darkest of the dark shit that's going on here. That's the focus of the love and light community that is out of balance. When you realize that, you realize that that's happening, and there's something wrong with that. That's why I shied away from that, and that's why I started to realize later on that there's an intention behind that. There's an intention there. So located at the crown chakra, located at the top of the head's function, understanding, inner state is bliss. So these higher chakras, the crown and the third eye. The crown is your source connection, your everlasting, your ever flowing energy connection from source itself. And then you have the root chakra, which is ever rooted to the earth energy, the infinite space of that experience and that purpose and that meaning. So you exist as all of those frequencies, as above, so below, and everything in between. And when all that stuff gets shut down, manipulated into one version of reality, flipped upside down and backwards into this generic, watered down version of who and what you are, then you start to short circuit. And the short circuit reality is exactly what is being maintained by the mainstream agenda. So like I said, love, forgiveness, compassion, self-esteem, the center of unstuck sounds of the subtle body, air element, the circulatory system, the individualized soul, the emotion of love. So the bridge, the heart chakra that exists right outside of the physical body, your infinite space connection to the throat, the third eye, and the crown. That bridge between your higher, the as above and so belowness of your reality, that gets shut down when we have no power, we have no compassion, we have no forgiveness, we have no understanding of the depths of true love, we have no self-esteem, none, because we have no fire. And we still worship these artificial idols. Your fire, your solar plexus gets locked down with desire, shutting down of your inner strength. Your vitality is dead because you're filling your body with dead energy, dead flesh, genetically modified foods, your stomach brain. Before your brain in your head manifests as part of your reality, you are rooted in the brain of your stomach first. You have a stomach brain. If your stomach brain ain't working, then you won't have any energy or any focus. You won't have a foundation or root structure for your head brain to think of anything. Like that is the foundation to your intellectual brain. Your stomach brain first. You have to know what to eat, how to eat, where to go. Your stomach, your gut instinct, something is telling you, yeah, that's first in this physical reality. It's an actual brain, neurons. So when you when you see that, then it's easy to understand that these genetically modified foods definitely have an intention. That this fluoridated water is not for your fucking teeth. It's for your stomach brain. And to calcify your stomach brain. And to calcify your pineal gland. Television, music, social media shuts down the sacral, your relationships, your sexuality, your intimacy. There is no intimacy anymore. This is all hookup culture. Everybody's looking at each other from this shallow version of reality. And then you create a vessel, you create a relationship and bring in lower vibrating babies into this reality. That's on purpose. Now, of course, like I said, there's an exception to the rule, and it's deeper than that, because these babies are actually, when they do come in here, they have more potential. This is why they get all these labels like ADHD, and they start giving all these babies these prescription drugs. It's because they are vibrating on this higher space, and they're not fitting into this dumpster reality. Hey, those kids aren't dumpsters. You need to get them some prescription drugs and make them more dumpster-like. They need to be like it. They don't like hot dogs. They don't like 100% beef. Like, they're not singing about this shit. It's that Pandora, and I'm not gonna pay for a damn prescription subscription for Pandora. These damn commercials, it's just ridiculous, and I leave them on purpose, because it also helps with understanding. Like, I use them, like, obviously I use them for information sharing, because it's a code, it's an actual algorithm. How are they manipulating people's subconscious reality, and how are they to manifest in their conscious reality? How are these commercials playing with their dreams? That's one reason why I leave that stuff on. At the same time, it's just fucking annoying. It pisses me off a lot, but oh well. Anyway, yeah, and then down to your root chakra, we get obviously locking you away from your roots, your culture, turning your culture into this generic ass reality. So this is the definition of short circuit, which I was talking about earlier. The failure of electricity to flow properly in a circuit because the wires or connections in the circuit are damaged or not connected properly. That is your mainstream reality. Full definition of short circuit is a connection of comparatively low resistance accidentally or intentionally made between points on a circuit between which the resistance is normally much greater. Our potential is much greater in this reality. You have these divine human vessels locking themselves into like a Snooki reality, or Britney Spears, or whatever kind of television show reality it is. Pancho Villa, we Mexicans have had 300 years of the Spaniards. They have not changed in character since the conquistadors. They disrupted the Indian Empire and enslaved the people. We did not ask them to mingle their blood with ours. Twice we drove them out of Mexico and allowed them to return with the same rights as Mexicans. And they used these rights to steal away our land, to make people slaves, and to take up arms against the cause of liberty. They thrust on us the great superstition the world has ever known, the Catholic Church. They ought to be killed for that alone. I consider we are being very generous to them. These piece of shit professors and politicians are out here like these Spanish conquistadors installing Catholic cosmology into your society. This self-destructive and short-circuited version of reality is taking your divine essence and using it against you and making people hate themselves. When you have people hate themselves, that is shutting down their layers of compassion. The New Age community is part of this shit too. It's still, it doesn't matter what you say about like, oh, I'm oneness and all this, we're all one and all this, and man, fuck all that shit. Before you get to understanding the higher chakras, you need to know where the fuck you are, where you come from, who you are, what this physical reality is. You can't just jump from a cancer. You can't jump from chemotherapy into the stars. That's what the New Age is all about. And that's what this fake ass flat earth top brass and fake flat earth, like wanting to go mainstream and all this other shit. You have to do your own internal work first before you go anywhere and do anything. You have to heal the roots of your root chakra. You have to heal your sacral chakra. You have to heal and understand what your solar plexus is and activate that fire for your heart chakra to be working on any kind of, to be activating in any kind of space. And since you have the ability to tap into the third eye and the crown chakra and the throat chakra and these higher chakras, people force it with drugs or so whatever it is, and then stay in that vibration because it's comfortable, because it's beautiful. Largely because a lot of people don't want to go into the understandings of who and what they are in their subtle bodies at the roots. And the system itself is designed to keep people down, to hate yourself. People not getting hired at certain jobs because of their hair, obviously because of their skin color, because they might not relate with the status quo of the group. It's bullshit. It's designed. This is how backwards this system is designed. Gangsters, pirates, telling you the bad guy, you're the bad guy. Can't even ask for help. At its basic nature, not even going into the manipulation of what Black Lives Matter is. At its basic understanding of Black Lives Matter, you still have these groups going against just asking for that, because, and why I say there's negative, it's inherently a limitation program, because it's still asking. When you have this, when you have the root structure of divinity, golden ages, and you're saying Black Lives Matter, that is inherently asking instead of inhabiting that power. There's a difference there, which is why it's mainstream. Black Lives Matter and all that other shit. It's the same as the slave movies. They're like, yes, give us more power. Tell us you matter. Give us the power to make you matter. We can put you on television and make you matter. We can put your your representatives on the Colbert Report, and they'll talk about how much you matter in an intellectual perspective so people will believe in that shit. Yes, we give you the power. Like, all right. Once you see that shit, you already understand it's fucking done. Then you see stuff like this where a man gets a ticket for helping a homeless man. Not even going into the fiat currency system. You can't even help. You can't even go take food out to the homeless people without getting ticketed. You gotta have some kind of permit to help. Like, so this is how this is another example of why this system's gotta go. The entire system. It's not from protesting and all that other shit. That's just like Black Lives Matter, giving the power away. You have to inhabit it and create a level of consciousness that will just make this level of consciousness look like a fucking joke. The joke that it is. So many, and hit it from every angle. We're getting there. But this shit's stupid. This is just ridiculous. You get a ticket for helping homeless people. And then you can get thrown in jail for giving your baby a natural medicine that will save his or her life. This stuff is illegal by the Food and Drug Administration. These federal programs are invested in your demise. There's no degree of separation between Monsanto, obviously, Bayer, putting HIV and aspirin, and then shipping it off to Africa. Monsanto genetically modified foods, herbicides in the air, in your food, in your water, in the ground, in the soil, in the military, in Vietnam, in Agent Orange, all over the world, in cahoots with Hillary, Trump, Obama, Bush, all of them. There's no degrees of separation here. This is a monster. This is why I get so pissed off when people are talking about voting. Still focused on that bullshit. Still focused on even the Constitution. Worshipping these idols. The Constitution is an idol. It's like the only way the lifestyle, the culture of the United States can be put up on a pedestal is because that the United States has bombed and destroyed all the essence, the cultures, watered down the rest of the world. This is what the colonial program is. And they make people like, what? Oh yeah, like this whole internet thing with ICANN, like, oh, they're giving it all to the United Nations. This is how they build themselves up and fear you into giving your power away to another system. Now to the New World Agenda, to the United Nations. It's like, oh, the United States had control of the entire internet. Like, we had control of the internet now, and we had our laws and regulations of the Constitution. Now it's given away to all these other countries who don't have these same rules and regulations of our Constitution. Now the internet's gonna get shut down. You don't think that shit's already been fucking happening? Just look at the trending videos, the trending articles on Yahoo and Google and all this other stuff. That's already an example of filtering. They are telling you what's important. So if you have people saying things and presenting information that is of an importance to the organic collective, the organic information stream, that is inherently an understanding that you are being filtered. It's not like an individualistic thing. It's overall and individual. They will shut you down individually, and overall, it's a broad spectrum of shutting down. Proof of that is by understanding that they have trending. They have the mainstream media and the local news. That is a 0.0001% of anything of any importance on a human scale when you boil it all the way down. That is amplified on YouTube and social media and everything to be your reality. It's a commercial. So basically our entire reality is a commercial. So when you see the other side of information that's being shared by individuals, then you can see that that's actually being shut out. Systematically. So this whole system's got to go. They make you love this shit. They make you love, like, watching all that. It was just sickening when that whole, what was that new cartoon when they got all these kids wearing all these, the cartoon with the long hair girl and she's ice. What it was? She's all like snowed. It's, what is that? I don't know. I have a brain fart right now. All these cartoons, these Disney movies and all this shit, this is for your generations in the future to be accepting of this reality, to hate themselves, to separate themselves from their culture. It's a systematic program. It's the colonial agenda. Today, this is all this Christopher Columbus, this post-Columbian era, the colonization of Africa, the colonization of the Polynesian Islands, the colonization of Australia, the colonization of the Earth plane, the colonization of your human psyche to make you hate yourself and separate yourself from your reality, to force you into short-circuiting your program. These entities that exist both in our conscious reality, these politicians, these puppets, these artificial idols, these artificial demigods and these celebrities, these professors which you worship for an illusory reality. They maintain the illusion and sell it in generations to your kids through cartoons. And since we're at work on a regular basis, these are the babysitters. Illusion is the babysitter for your dumpster baby, prom night dumpster babies. Oh, shit. It's fucking ridiculous. It is laughable at the same time. It's fucking horrible. It's not laughable at all. Because these pieces of shit are just... You already know. It's garbage. This shit is straight garbage. And if we're still talking about voting and Hillary Clinton and all this other stuff, this is what makes it so obvious. The Young Turks and Alternative News and Alex Jones talking about Trump and this Americana shit and everything involving the system trying to get better. You already know it's full of shit. The New Age agenda jumping off of that. The Ancient Aliens television show telling you, you know, oh, we're aliens came and did this and aliens did that, and your ancient cultures really ain't shit. It's just about these aliens. They came and did everything, so we just got to connect with these aliens. Okay, aliens. It's like, all right, man, whatever. What about our ancient culture? Oh, don't. Those are savages, primitive. So that's basically what I wanted to talk about in this video. So thank you for joining me. Until next time, from all my relations, peace, love, and harmony.